Hi, welcome everyone to this week's yoga session. Hope you're all well. Today we're going to be looking at the muscular system, so we're going to look at all our muscles. So let's come to start how we always start though, with our comfortable seated position, just coming to do a seated centering. So finding your comfortable sitting position, maybe cross-legged, maybe kneeling, maybe one leg out, one leg in, perhaps like this. As long as we can have a kind of upright posture so that we can come and breathe. However you're sitting is fine. And then let's come, and I'll use my chime and we'll just come and breathe in 3 times together just to arrive on the mat. So let's come and breathe in through our noses and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One last time, let's go and breathe in and breathing out. Just going to put this away. So our body contains over 600 muscles, and our muscular system has many different functions that we're going to come and look at today. And a lot of those functions cross over with in fact with all of the systems that we've looked at so far. So our muscular system crosses over with our respiratory system. Our muscles assist in breathing, our diaphragm muscle that we looked at, and the muscles around our ribs. Our digestive system, our muscles cross over with that. We're going to come and look at that later. Also our circulatory system, and of course our skeletal system. So our bones and our muscles work together to move us. But let's come and warm up our bodies now. And this is literally about moving our muscles, and our muscles, by moving our muscles, we actually create 85% of the heat that we have in the body. So our muscles moving create our body heat and so help to regulate our body temperature. Okay, so, and sometimes actually, even if you find yourself shivering, your muscles contracting to try and warm you up. So sometimes when we're really cold and we shiver without, we can't help it, we're so cold, that's your body actually the muscles moving to try and warm you up. But let's come and start with our toes. So we're going to have our feet down, we can have our hands down to support us. And we're going to come and move the muscles in our toes and our feet. And we're going to come and have a little look at the muscles on our legs. Just coming to maybe have a sense of the calf muscles, the leg muscles on your lower legs, around your knees, just a little squeeze up onto the quads and around. We've got muscles all around the back and the inner thigh, just coming to have a sense of the muscles in the whole of our legs. And when we come to flex our toes, that means we bring our toes towards us. We can maybe feel that connection of the muscles. So we kind of think of the muscles maybe a little bit as separate things. We've got our calf muscle, our quad muscle, our bicep muscle, but actually they're all connected, because they're all connected by the ligaments and tendons, which are made of connective tissue. And they connect all of the muscles in the body. And so sometimes when we come to flex our feet, even though we're moving our foot all the way down there, we can feel that movement all the way at the top of our legs. So just come and have a notice, and we'll come and notice that a little bit more as we come to warm up our body. All right, let's come and bring our feet together now. So all of the feet together, we're going to come into our butterfly, coming to let the knees come up and down, and we're going to have a sense of the adductor muscles, the muscles on the inner legs. So just coming to notice the sensation of moving your adductor muscles, the inside of your thighs. And then let's come back to cross-legged, and we're going to come and find some movement in our arm. So let's come to lift up our right arm, and we're just going to come to find some circles. Okay, and as we circle our arm, we're moving our arm, just want you to notice, we're going to take our other hand, our left hand, just around the back of the body, or underneath the shoulder, and the front of the body, around the chest. And as you're moving your arm, just notice all the muscles around the back and the front of the body that are also working. So we're not just using the muscles in our arm as we're circling our arm, we're also using loads of muscles around the arm. So let's just come and circle again with the other arm. Just finding those circles, and then again, just coming to place the hand. We can make really quite big circles or small circles. Maybe you can feel the muscles all the way down to your lower back moving. Just noticing that when we have the arm in a certain position, different muscles have to work to move the arm around. So So we're warming up our arms and all the muscles surrounding our arms that help our arm to move. Okay, from here we're going to come onto our hands and knees, onto all fours, and we're just going to come and have a sense of what engages here. So I'd like you to really spread your fingers wide. Imagine that you're creating a really strong, clear handprint into sand. Imagine your floor or your mat is sand, and you're creating a nice, strong, clear handprint into that sand. Okay, and once you're pressing down through your hands, just notice the fingertips, the outside edge of your hand, just notice what muscles are engaging again around the different parts of the body. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift up one hand while still pressing the other hand, and just see how that feels. Just having one hand down, putting the weight through one hand, and then lifting up through the other hand. And what we can do now, we're going to lift up through one hand, and we're even going to come and move a little bit, so that arm and hand really has to kind of engage. Let's swap again, lifting up the other hand. We can notice maybe sometimes one side might be a little bit stronger or a little bit easier than the others. Then putting both hands down, and we'll have a sense again of both hands working, both arms working. Okay, from here now we're going to take one leg back. So let's take one leg back. And again, remember last time we looked at the skeletal system. The femur bone is the biggest bone in the body, so it's pretty heavy. So again, we're noting what has to engage to lift this leg up, what muscles are working. And then let's come and bring our knee towards our nose and feel what that does. Extending, bringing the knee to the nose, and we can push the heel away to really engage some more muscles on the back of the leg. And let's come and try the other side. Okay, so let's come and first lift up that leg, and again we can have the toes pointing downwards, the heel pushing away. That kind of helps to engage muscles on the back of the leg. Maybe you can notice that if you let your toes point and then move your heel. Again, it's our flexing our foot like we were doing in our L-shaped sitting. Bringing our knee to our nose. We're just doing it in a different position. And then from here, let's come bring that hand down. And we're just going to come and, let's come and not come down to kneeling yet. We're going to come and tuck our toes, and we're going to let our hips come down towards our heels, and we're just going to come and stretch a little bit through the muscles of the toes and the feet. Okay, so, and then from here, we're bringing our hands forward, keeping our hips back. We're going to come and find our downward dog. So we're going to lift up our knees, let the hips come back, and we're going to unfold into our downward dog. Just coming to bend and straighten. Again, just noticing, letting the head and neck be relaxed. We're going to walk our feet forwards, be in a forward fold with our knees nicely bent. We can hang here for a moment, and then we're going to really use the muscles in the legs as we come to unroll the spine, keeping the knees bent as we just come to straighten through the spine slowly. Brilliant. Okay, let's come to do our sun salutation. So again, sun salutation is this sequence of movements. It's a great warm-up. We're going to move through all of the muscle groups really in the body as we come to do this sequence. So let's come and bring our hands in front of our heart centers. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, we're going to bring our arms up, stretching up, breathing out, we're folding all the way forward. So we can keep the knees as bent as we need to. Breathing in, we're going to step back with the right foot into our lunge. And then we're going to hold our breath and step into our plank. Nice and strong shoulders over wrists. From here, we're going to breathe out, lower down, bringing the body down. Breathing in, we're going to take our hands off and come into our baby cobra. So the feet stay on the floor. Breathing out, we're going to push back into our downward dog. And breathing in, stepping forward with the right foot. And breathing out, the left foot comes to join. Breathing in, we're going to take the arms out wide as we come up with our bent legs. Breathing out, hands in front of the heart. Just taking a moment to breathe, to notice in your mountain pose how you're feeling. Let's come and do the other side. Breathing in, breathing out, bring the hands in front of your heart center. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards. Breathing in, stepping back with the left leg into this nice long lunge. And then from there, we're holding the breath as we come into our nice strong plank. Breathing out, lowering the knees, lowering the body down. Breathing in, lifting the hands our baby cobra. Bringing the hands down so that we can push back through our child pose and up into our dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, and bend and straighten the legs. And then on the next breath in, we're going to step forward with the left foot. Breathing out, the right foot comes to meet. Breathing in, we're going to bend in the knees and we're taking the arms out wide as we just come up to standing. Taking a moment, let's come into our mountain pose and just come to see how we feel after our round of sun salutation. So just noticing that maybe the body does feel a bit warmer. That movement in the muscles creates warmth. So our muscles are made up of a special cell called a muscle fibre. And what muscle fibres are really good at is contracting. So they have this quality of contractibility. And what that means is that they can lengthen and shorten. And this is how our muscles move. And in the body, we have 3 types of muscle. So we have skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. And we're going to come and look at all of those now. So the skeletal muscle is one that is maybe most obvious to us. It's the muscles that help us move. So they help us do, skeletal muscles help us to do big movements, large movements, or sometimes they're called gross motor movements, big, large movements, things like walking. So even with walking, see I'm using quite a few muscles in my body. Running, I'm to use a lot of the muscles, doing this big movement. And let's come and do, we're going to come and do a little jumping movement now. So we're really going to use a lot of the muscles in our body doing these big movements. So some of you have probably done this with me before in class. It's kind of like a moving star jump in a way. Okay, so we'll do it slowly first. We're going to go apart, together, together, apart, together, together, apart. Okay, we're going to do it a little bit faster now. Ready? Apart, together, together, apart, together, together, apart. All right, let's do it one more time. We're going to do it really quickly. So all our muscles are going to move really nice and quickly in this big movement. Are we ready? Let's go. Apart, together, together, apart, together, together, apart. Well done, everyone. And then also, as well as doing these large movements, our muscles are also responsible, their function is also for the small movements or the fine motor skills, these are called. So these are things like writing, fine motor skills, speaking, our facial expressions. So coming to maybe, I can come closer. Let's come and do some funny facial expressions. What funny facial expressions can you do? Well, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. And just come and find some funny faces and notice all the muscles that have to work. And also as we're talking, what's your funniest face you can do? Using as many muscles in your face. Oh, just notice all of the muscles working in our face. Okay, I'm going to go back away from the camera now. So the small motor skills, and then as well, our skeletal muscles are also responsible, or they're responsible for our posture. So just standing upright like this takes a lot of work for our muscles. We might feel like we're not really doing that much, but our skeleton, our bones are being held upright, and it's quite a lot of work for our muscles. So our muscles are always working, just even when we're just standing here. And we can maybe notice it a little bit more if we come down to sitting. So when we're sitting, we're in our seated posture. Okay, if we don't use as many muscles, we can come and really slump forward. We can feel we're not using really as many muscles. If I come and really sit up straight, or not straight because we can't actually sit up straight, we've got the curves in our spine, but if I come to sit up tall, okay, then actually, even sitting up tall, some of you may feel it more than others. You can feel the muscles in the front of your body and the back of your body. The whole of the trunk has to work for us to be sitting up nice and tall. And as we sort of practice it more, it becomes easier. If we sit like this all the time, okay, when we come to sit like this, it feels like quite a lot of hard work because you can feel those muscles that don't usually work because you're usually just sitting like this are suddenly having to work. Okay, but it's really important for us to have, when we have good posture like this, it creates more space in between our joints, helps us breathe more easily. So it's really important to try and develop those postural muscles. Okay, let's come down into our constructive rest pose. So I know we've looked at this in a few different lessons. And this rest pose, this is where those postural muscles, those deep postural muscles that hold us up, actually can have a little bit of a break. But we'd have to lie here for about 10 minutes for those muscles to actually start relaxing, because they're so used to working all the time, because we're usually upright or sitting or standing. So those postural muscles are always switched on working. But if we come and lie here for about 10 minutes, the whole of the back of our body is being supported by the floor. Our legs, our upper legs, are being supported by the hips and the pelvis, and our lower legs are being supported by the ankle and the foot. So in this position, the body can really have a sense of letting go and relaxing, and we can find a little bit of spaciousness in the joints. But we're not going to come and lie here for 10 minutes this time, because that would be a bit long. But if you ever have time, it's always a great practice to do. Okay, so what we're going to come and do is we're going to come now to look at our cardiac muscle. So that was our skeletal muscle. So our cardiac muscle, maybe some of you know what that is. The cardiac muscle is our heart. Yeah, that's right. And it's our hardest working muscle in our body. It doesn't ever stop, never has a break. Can't just be like, oh, I'm going to just stop for a moment. No, it carries on all day and all night for every day of your life. And every day the heart pumps around 11,000 litres of blood around your body. That's a lot of blood. Okay, so let's come to do our camel pose, which is a heart opening pose. Now, we're going to come to be kneeling. Some of you might like to have a blanket under your knees, or maybe your knees feel fine. I always like to have a blanket under my knees. It's just a bit more comfy. And I think it's always nice to be comfy. Okay, so I'm going to tuck my toes here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into a position where we're going to open up the heart. Now we're going to bring our hands to the back of the body, and what we don't want to do is just kind of lean back like this. If we're just leaning back like that, we're putting quite a lot of pressure into our low back there. What we want to have a sense of is this lifting up, and that we're sort of showing the chest to the ceiling. So this is lengthening through the upper back and then opening up to the ceiling. Showing your heart to the ceiling. Coming all the way back up, noticing how you feel. It's quite an intense pose. Here with our toes tucked, we can just let the body come backwards a little bit, and we can really feel the muscles in the front of the legs working. Coming all the way back. So now the option is we're going to maybe come and try that camel again with our hands supporting on the lower back. Or if you feel like it's available to you, we can take our hands down to the tops of our heels, our fingertips down to the tops of our heels, and again have this sense of opening through the chest. Again, we want to have this sense of lengthening in the upper back, and then finding our fingertips onto our heels. Now you might like to keep your chin tucked like I do. I quite prefer to have it tucked, but some people like to let their neck come back. So if that feels comfortable for you, you can, or you might like to stay like me with your chin tucked. Whatever feels good for you. From here, we're going to bring one hand forward and the other, and we're going to come all the way down into our child pose. So if you used a blanket, just moving that to the side and coming down into your child pose and just having a little rest here. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and then from here we're going to come forward with our hands, and we're just going to come to now come and explore our smooth muscle. Yeah, we're not going to come forward, sorry. Going ahead of myself, we are going to come and talk about our smooth muscle. So our smooth muscle is found in some of our organs, including our intestines, our stomach, and in our circulatory system, so in our blood vessels. And smooth muscle is specialised to kind of move smoothly and persistently, a little bit like a gentle kind of pulsing, and it moves things through the body. So it's a smooth muscle in our blood vessels that gets the blood flowing up from the legs back to the heart. It's a smooth muscle in the intestine that moves the food through the intestines gently, okay? And this is, again, like the heart muscle, this isn't a muscle that we can control with our thinking. So obviously I can think I want to move my arm, and my arm moves. I can't really think I want to stop my heart, or I want to get my smooth muscle in my intestine working. It doesn't really quite work like that. So our smooth muscle is another involuntary muscle, a little bit like our heart. Let's come and do a pose though, which can be nice and stimulating for our digestive system. So we're going to come and lie on the front of the body. Okay, and from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come and do our bow pose. So we're going to bring our chin or our forehead to the ground. I'm just going to have my head to the side so that you can hear me talking. We're going to bend, oh, excuse me, there's my singing bowl. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to take hold of our feet or our ankles. So you're going to be like this, or like this. And then from there, this might be enough for you. You might feel a nice stretch in your quads and the muscles on the front of your thighs. Or if you want to come a bit further with me, what we're going to do is we're going to push our hands or our ankles into our feet or our ankles into our hands, and we're going to come and lift. And we're going to have this sense of a little bit of pressure on our tummy areas where our digestive intestines are, and this is quite nice. It kind of gives a little bit of a massage for our intestines. Let's come to lower down. Let's let the legs come out, make a little pillow with our hands, and we're just going to come and move the hips gently from side to side, coming to rest on the body. Okay, so just resting. From here, we're going to come now to find the biggest muscle in our body. Maybe you know what it's called. So if you do, let's come up into our Sphinx pose from here. So we're going to bring the elbow under the shoulder. We have the tops of the feet connecting down to the floor. And yes, it's our gluteus maximus. It is our biggest muscle in our body. And this is our sort of butt muscle. And it's pretty important, our glutes. And our glutes are not just the gluteus maximus, there's the gluteus medius and the gluteus minimus as well. And our glutes are really important for supporting our pelvis and our lower back and helping us move around. And for some of us, because we do lots of sitting, our glutes can get a little bit lazy. So we're going to come and do some exercises to feel our glutes and then an exercise to strengthen them. So we're going to come back down to lying. Okay, and we can just have our arms by our side. And I'd like you to imagine someone is sort of pulling we're going to just move one leg, maybe your right leg or your left leg, doesn't matter. Imagine your leg is lengthening away from your hip, down away from you. And then when it's lengthened a little bit, come to lift it. And then just a tiny micro bend at the knee, and you can maybe feel the muscle in your glute working. Okay, let's come and lower that down and try the other side. So again, having a sense of the leg lengthening away, lifting, and then just a little bend. Again, just you can give it a little tap, feel that muscle working. All right, from here, we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders. We're going to come up to all fours, and we're going to come and do a little glute activator. And we're going to lift up our leg, so lifting up one leg, and I want you to imagine there's a button on the ceiling, and you're going to try and press that button with your toes. So you're lifting up, lifting up, lifting up, and maybe you can feel how that activates your glute muscle. Let's come and do the other side. Again, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up, activating those glutes. Great. And then from here, we're going to walk the hands back. We're going to come to find our squat. We'll come to face you guys. So we're in our squat, and we're going to bring our hands together and come all the way up to standing. So squats are great for coming to strengthen a little bit our glutes. So then taking your feet maybe a little bit wider than your hips, we're going to bring our hands together. And we're just going to come down to a squat, having a sense of the weight going back into your heels and a slight lean on your body, coming all the way up. So I'll come to do it from the side as well so you can see. So from here, coming down and coming all the way down as far as feels comfortable, and then pushing up through the heels and the feet and using the glutes. So feeling those glutes really working. Ooh, maybe one more. Working and strengthening our glutes. Now the smallest muscle in our body is like the smallest bone that we looked at. Remember, the smallest bone in our body was in our ears, and the smallest muscle in our body is also in our ears, unsurprisingly. And it's a little muscle that connects the eardrum and sort of holds your inner ear together. Okay, so let's just come, and we're going to find our thumb and finger, and we're going to come and do a little bit of squeezing and pulling on the outer soft bit of our ear. And this can be really nice for actually releasing the muscles in your face. So squeeze on the lobes and then gently pull. And actually we'll do that 3 times. And then come to the middle bit of the ear, squeeze and pull. And then coming to the top of your ear, squeeze and pull. That's meant to release some of the muscles in your face. And as we're near our ears, we'll come to our jaw, because relative to its size, the jaw is the strongest muscle in the body. So we've got a very strong muscle here, our masseter muscle. So let's come and massage around the masseter and find some jaw circles. Moving that, keeping it nice and strong through our talking and chewing and eating. Great. And then the busiest muscle, also around this area, the busiest muscle are the muscles in our eyes. So if you read for an hour, your eyes can make as many as 10,000 coordinated movements. So that's just in 1 hour. So we're going to do something called eyes around the clock, and you can use your finger or you can find something. I've got a nice kind of crystal thing here. I'm going to use my crystal. You might have a little toy or something that you want to use. What we're going to do is we're going to bring whatever we're holding in front of us, okay, and we're going to bring it up and around. We're going to kind of circle it around, and we're going to follow it with our eyes, but we're not going to move our head. So I'm not going to be going like this. Okay, I'm only moving my eyeballs. Okay, so we're going to come and exercise the muscles in our eyes. Right, so let's bring this out, taking it up. So imagine that you're going around a clock. So your eyes are moving down and round in a nice big circle. When you get back to the top, go the other way. So eye exercises can be really, just like other muscles in the body, we need to exercise the eyes. And again, eyes actually get lots of exercise. So from here, actually, let's go all the way up and all the way down. So one of the ways in which the eyes get really good exercise is from being outside. So when we're outside, the light is constantly changing. So you know how the clouds go over, sometimes it's sunny, trying to follow as far as you can, back to the centre. And so our eyes are having to constantly kind of, adjust to the light. And that keeps the muscles moving really well. So for people that spend a lot of time indoors, it's not so good for the eyes. Okay, so let's notice how our eyes feel. My muscles in my eyes feel like they do quite hard work. Let's come and give our hands a little rub and create some heat in the palms of our hands. And then let's come and just place our palms over our eyes. Nice and peaceful. Well, it's almost time for our relaxation. We're going to come and lower down now using the muscles in the front of our body. And we're going to take our feet flat on the floor, and we're going to come to lower down using our rope, going very slowly lowering down, feeling front of the body. We might stop, using those muscles in the front of the body to hold us there, and also muscles in the back of the body are working too. And then coming all the way down, we're going to come now to do something called lemon toes. And this is where we're going to come and squeeze and release our muscles. So maybe you've seen a baby before having some lemon and their face kind of goes when they taste the lemon. So we're going to do that throughout our whole body, imagining that we're sucking up lemon juice into our body and squeezing the muscles and then releasing them. Okay, so we're going to start with our toes and our feet. So lemon juice in your toes and your feet, squeezing your toes and your feet and releasing. Then squeezing the muscles in your lower legs, maybe in your toes and your feet too, your knees and your thighs, and releasing the legs. Squeezing the muscles in your glutes, squeeze, and release. And then squeezing the muscles maybe around your tummy. So as we squeeze the muscle in our tummy, it's like we're pushing our lower back down onto the ground, squeezing and releasing. Sucking lemon juice up into our chest. We can push our shoulder blades together, so we're lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades and release. And then let's come and suck lemon juice into our shoulders And we're lifting them up and the chest is coming in. Squeeze and release. And then in our arms and hands, squeezing the muscles in your arms and hands, making a fist and release. And then my favourite place, the face, we come to make a funny face, squeezing all the muscles in your face, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Finally, let's come and do the whole of the body. Let's squeeze, you might lift the arms and the legs a little bit and the head, squeezing everything and letting go. Just noticing when you feel the different muscles letting go. Let's come and do it one more time, seeing if we can notice how it feels to squeeze everything. And then if we can notice what it feels like as we start to let go, as we start to release. Can you feel the muscles releasing all through the body? And as we come to find our rest, we just come to see if we can find some stillness and allow those muscles to release a little bit more. Sometimes as we come to rest, we come to relax, we don't even realise sometimes that we've been holding tension in places. So sometimes we hold a tightness somewhere if we feel tense about something, but we don't even really notice that we're doing it. And sometimes when we come to lying relaxation, we're suddenly like, oh, I can let go there. Oh, I didn't realise my tummy was feeling so tense. Or, oh, my jaw, I can relax my jaw. Or my forehead, all the muscles in your forehead, let them rest. And we may even come to activate our smooth muscles. So in our digestive system, when we come to breathe in nice and deeply, so let's come and do some nice slow breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's come and try, I'd like you to try as you breathe in to see if you can, as you breathe out, see if you can let your exhale, your breath out be longer than your breath in. So really trying to make your breath out nice and slow. When we have a really nice, slow breath out, signals to the body that we're safe, and something called our parasympathetic nervous system can switch on. And this is also called your rest and digest system. So when we're safe and everything's okay, then the body can use energy to digest food. So by relaxing, we might actually be able to activate our smooth muscles in our intestines. So sometimes when I'm teaching a yoga class in real life and we do the relaxation, if I hear lots of gurgling tummies, I know that people are actually quite relaxed. Because when your tummy gurgles, it means sometimes your digestion is starting to work, which means that maybe you've been breathing nice and slowly and deeply. Let's see if you can let yourself soften a little bit more into the floor. A nice analogy can be imagining that you're a piece of butter on a hot bit of toast and you're just melting. Can you allow all your muscles in your body just to melt into the ground? Closing your eyes, hopefully you've had your eyes closed already if you're comfortable to do so. Letting those muscles in your eyes come to relax. Really resting. We can just allow the mind to follow the breath in and out as the body becomes heavy and relaxed. You can stay resting for longer if you'd like. It's always good to rest for longer. So you can rest for as long as you like. If you're ready to come out of your rest, we're going to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We're going to stretch our arms behind us lengthening through all our muscles. We're going to bring our knees into our chest, squeezing. And we're going to send some love and gratitude to our muscular system and all the amazing things it does in our body. Just sending some love to the whole of your being. And then coming to place the feet down on the floor. And we're just going to let the knees fall over to the side. We're going to come and push ourselves up. We're going to come and use some of those muscles to sit upright. And then we're going to just try and allow that to be not too tense. We're just going to try and have this soft uprightness where we're still able to be upright, but it's not too effortful. So we can allow the shoulder blades to be soft on the back. Head is perched on top of the spine. Noticing how you feel. Hopefully you're feeling good after our practice. Alright, let's come and bring our hands together in front of our hearts and let's come and bow to each other. Namaste. I hope you all enjoyed that practice and I will see you soon. Bye.